Hi everybody, it's Rob Kennedy, president of the Hoop Group, again talking about the recruiting process. And last week we started talking about how you end up choosing the right AAU program for you. We're going to continue that, but first of all, just a little shout out to some of our guys. Everybody's all wrapped up in what is March Madness, and when you've got a team like VCU, who's one of the very last teams in and all the way to the Final Four, and you got Butler for a return trip to the Final Four, just shows you how magical March Madness all is. And one of the things that's so much fun, besides watching all the great games, is seeing those guys who are Hoop Group alums go and do well. And certainly we had a great weekend for our guys. Each MVP of the East region, the West region, the Southeast, and the Southwest were all Hoop Group alums. And so as we head to the Final Four, we'll be watching a lot of guys that were Hoop Group guys and performed. None better than Kemba Walker, who has certainly been the star of this NCAA tournament. As well, today, the first team All-American was announced, and all 5 guys on the first team All-American AP were Hoop Group alums. So as we get going in full force with everything that's going on with college basketball, we're real proud to have seen all these guys mature, get better, and be able to realize their dreams of playing at the very highest level of college basketball. We talked last week about really how important it was to know who was coaching your AAU team and what that coach was all about. Today, a couple of things as well on the same topic of finding the right AAU team for you. One of the things that you got to understand, and this is a family decision besides just you as a player, and mom and dad, this is something that you've got to make sure that you pay attention to. What are the logistics of a particular team? You know, some teams are close to where you live. Some teams are an hour away. You've got to be able to figure out whether or not you're able to make that trip. If you're an hour or 2 hours away, you're going to be able to get to all the practices. You're going to be able to put yourself in a position where you're taking full advantage of being in that AAU program. So logistics is one of the big things. It may be as simple as one team practices on Tuesday nights and you got another commitment with school or something else, and another team practices on Monday and Wednesdays, and those days of the week are better than you. So you've got to make sure that logistically this team works for you. From a financial standpoint, how much are you going to have to invest to be part of this AAU program? Whether it's travel, whether it's paying to be on that team, whatever it is, make sure you know as well what your financial commitments for being on that AAU team are. Remember, there's all expenses that everybody's got to incur when they've got an AAU team, whether it's traveling, hotels, team entry fees, paying for gym time, paying for referees. So there is a financial commitment that you got to make sure that you understand that. Travel, not just your travel to and from practice. How many weekends are you going to be away traveling? Are you going to be able to get there? Does the team provide travel, or are the parents required to travel with them? These are all questions that you've got to make sure that you're asking up front. And commitment. You know, how much of a commitment, not just on time and money, but how much of a commitment are you willing to make to a particular program? Those all come in and are legitimate questions that you need to have answers to be able to find what's the best fit. And then lastly is the team itself. Just as you choose what college you're going to go play for, a lot of it comes down to how do you fit with the other guys on that team or girls on that team. When people go for an official visit to a school, that's one of the biggest things that they're able to take away from that, okay? But certainly they see campus, they meet everybody, all that, but what you do is you get a feel for that program and you get a feel for the people in it. So how do you fit within that team? Do you feel comfortable? Are they people that you want to hang around with? Are they good guys and good girls? Are they good people? And do you feel like that you fit in from that standpoint? And then as well, how do you fit in with what their roster looks like? If you're a point guard, are you going to be able to play your position? Okay? Not everybody can always play their position. Remember that. The world has more point guards than centers, all right? So sometimes you got to play. But is it a good fit for you as far as who's ahead of you? You know, what guys they have at positions. We talked about style of play with coach and all that. How do you fit in with that team, okay? And when you put all 3 of those things together, the coach and what they're going to be able to do for you, those logistical questions that are legitimate and you got to answer, and then how do you fit into the team? When you put all 3 of those things together, then I think you're able to find the right AAU program for you that's going to help maximize the most important things. One, get better, okay, and get seen. But if you just get seen and don't get better, it's not worth it. You got to make sure that your AAU program is helping you become a better basketball player first and foremost. The secondary part of it is if they can help get you exposure, great. But remember what's most important, that's getting yourself better. All right, as always, if you've got any questions, you can email me at robk@hoopgroup.com. And as well, we still have our white sheet here that talks about some of the things from a college recruiting standpoint that you should be taking a look at.